What up? All my scientists, my artists, my philosophers, my geneticists, my roboticists, my biologists, my archaeologists, my astronomers. Let's get busy. This has been Busy from the Burbs.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Ben Busy from the Burbs talking to you about thick tongues.
A fucking thick tongue, bro.
It's when you get a thick tongue.
It's when you get a thick fucking tongue and you can't talk good.
And I can't talk
like that.
good.
Exactly.
I can't turk good. Robots.
I'm talking about not talking good incorrectly.
John Allen Moore's new assignment is to look for a real doll for Robots Without Borders. Posting now.
Or mannequin, but we can say real doll because that'll be funnier.
Yeah, isn't it?
You can tag me
strange?
Directly in those too.
I did.
Like, okay, cool. Because if that goes right to my Facebook, it might get my friends more interested in watching our shit.
All right, yeah, for sure. That's the other thing we needed to talk about was like a full frontal fucking assault on the ass cheeks of promotion here. We need to fucking actually be coordinating a marketing blitz, and I want to get everyone in a meeting so that we can all get everybody on the same page. And basically what I want us to do is just go ham. Like, literally, like, inviting fucking everybody that we know on our friends list. Like, just one full fucking blitzkrieg. And then let the dust settle and see.
And then once every 6 months.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Us.
Once every 6 months until everyone deletes us. And I'm at the point, I don't even give a fuck anymore. Like, at first I was like, I don't want to, disturb
But how
friends.
does everyone else get big?
Right, exactly.
They do the same shit. You look at all those fucking idiots that, like, post in YouTube comments of videos that aren't theirs, and they end up having, like, fucking 10,000 views, which I feel like is a realistic goal.
Okay, I'm on the Realdolls website through no fault of mine. Okay, I just ended up navigating here.
Yeah.
And there is a section called Boy Toy Dolls.
Oh, yeah. Do they got, like, big old fat dicks? Dude, I bet they have big fat dicks. $10 says they have big fat dicks.
I just clicked on it. Boy Toy Dolls are handcrafted using cutting-edge materials. These posable silicone dolls are designed with fun in mind. Boy Toy Dolls are lightweight, easy to maintain, and made of an exclusive, all-new platinum silicone material. Platinum silicone? What?
That sounds like colloidal silver.
Yeah, right. You pull out your dick's a fucking blue Smurf.
You turn into the Silver Surfer.
Yeah. They have features that cannot be found on any other doll in the world. And yes, of course, they are anatomically correct. Handcrafted by the creator of Realdolls and manufactured in his private studio.
That must be like the most sought after fake pussy and vagina combination, or pussy and asshole combination you could possibly have.
Have you seen
It was made by an artist.
Have you seen the conventions where the dudes bring their Realdolls and sit them next to each other?
Next to them, and they like hold their hands and like fucking play with their hair and shit.
Seriously, what the fuck is that?
You know, it's funny. As much as I like want to make fun of that dude, at least he has the expendable income to buy a real doll.
Oh God. What if he mortgaged his house to get the real doll?
To get the real doll, and he just lives in he lives in the box that the real doll came in.
Oh, what the fuck? He lets the real doll sleep in the house, and he sleeps outside in the box.
Because the real doll won't let him. She makes him sleep on the couch. That's when you know you failed. Your synthetic counterpart won't even let you sleep in the same bed as her.
This is the equivalent of women going to a convention and sitting next to their dildos. Like, having their dildos next to them. I don't understand. Like, and what do? You have to fireman carry the thing everywhere? You know these things are heavy. They're made of silicone. So
yeah, so they're not light. They probably have like pallet jacks and shit that they roll them around on.
Fuck,
or like a dollimer, like the little dollies that you can like tilt them
back. A dolly
back
for the real
and have them
doll.
stand on it.
The real dolly. I'm sure it's another product
Oh
that
my
they could
god,
sell.
it's called the Real Dolly. Dude, patent pending. Patent pending.
It's awful. The Celestial BT3 series are the latest boy toy dolls, featuring a more
God.
sculpturally defined body while maintaining the petite sizing unique to the BT line. What?
Ugh.
The
So they're
petite
making it like 12-year-old.
sizing?
They're shaped like 12-year-old boys, is what they're trying to say.
Yeah, right, exactly. This is kind of fucking weird, man.
Is this
Come on, bro.
what's that one? Oh shit, this is what's that one thing? Damn it, the organization that says it's okay
NAMBLA.
for this is
NAMBLA.
funded by NAMBLA.
Yeah, this is like a
a
NAMBLA
full
get around.
circle.
If you look at the boy toy real doll page, they are female anatomically, but it doesn't matter. If you have like kind of, I don't know, detachable, sex organs or whatever, then it's not going to make a difference. They're going to
Oh,
buy
so
it.
they're women. They're
gonna-
shaped like girls, and they're called the boy toy.
Yeah, but they probably could just like buy it under the guise that, oh yes, I'm just a normal heterosexual male, and then like chop off the breasts and then friggin' put a dildo
At what point
on
does
it.
that become illegal, though?
Yeah, right. Modifying your real doll. It's like you void the warranty, like when you jailbreak your iPhone or something.
You try to send your real doll back under the pretenses that it just doesn't function anymore, and they find out that you Buffalo Bill cut the tits off and stapled the dick to it.
Fuck yeah. I think the most disturbing part of this copy here is, where is it? The section here. Handcrafted by the creator of Real Doll and manufactured in his private studio. Like, what?
So you're basically fucking him indirectly.
Probably. He's probably like puts a piece of his DNA in there somehow. Like a.
Well, he fucks it.
That's what it is.
He has to quality check on.
That's the QC department. It's just like a bunch of fucking machines, like blasting the false vaginas of these real dolls.
They're just dudes with fedoras with like high-paying programming jobs.
It's a room
But they
full
spend
of
so much
fedored
time
men.
developing phone applications with clickbait that they can't get a girlfriend, so they just fucking work quality control in the Real Doll factory.
Right. All of the boy toy dolls are being offered in limited quantities because it's probably illegal. And each doll will be hand detailed by Matt McMullen. We
Oh, he put his
post
name on there too.
Yeah. Each doll will be hand detailed by Matt McMullen. We will post warnings online when a series reaches its limit and will no longer be available, i.e., this is like the canary in the coal mine that some developers use to announce when the federal government has violated their privacy. And then when they take down the canary, then you know that it's no longer a safe website to go to. So
Yeah.
that's basically what they're doing here. This is their canary in the coal mine. When they're shipping like 5 foot tall sex dolls. Like,
That
come on,
look like
really?
Filipino boys.
Yeah. Here it is. With all of the BT dolls, I like how they like abbreviate it. Like they already have the BT, the boy toy BT dolls.
God, that's what BT stand. I wasn't even paying attention. Now that it's made this story like twice as bad.
You have complete control over all of the options that make up your doll. Eye color,
Jesus.
skin tone, hairstyle, and color and makeup, as well as many different nipple types. What? You're like, eye color, okay, skin tone, hairstyle,
I
color,
wonder if they can put eyeballs on the nipples.
and many different nipple types. I like how they
Many
slip
different
that
nipple
in
types.
at the end. Like, they're like, just normal stuff, skin tone, eye color,
It seems like they're
hairstyle,
trying to
nipple
not
type.
make it a sexual thing.
Yeah. What is
And
that?
then at the very end, they just like, just so you know, you can fuck this. Like, it's like their last line. It's like, we haven't talked about it too much, but you can totally fuck this thing.
There's like a piece
Do you
of
think
like...
the Real Doll creator, what's his name? Who's,
He's not
what's his
on.
name? The guy that's making him. What's his name? Do you think that he has like a harem of fucking Real Dolls? And
He has
like,
him on a Lazy Susan in his...
they're just
he's got
hanging
him on a
out by the
rotating
door.
bed.
He has one staged by the front door of his house, so when he comes home from work, he can get a kiss from that one. Maybe like he already puts it on its knees early in the morning, so the second he walks in the door, he can get a quick blowy before he fucking goes up to the other one by the stove and pretends it's making him dinner.
Oh, oh my god.
Then he has another one that's at his microwave to pop popcorn.
Exclusively to pop popcorn.
Yeah.
Let's look at
God.
Wicked Realdolls. This
I
is
wonder
just
if
gonna
he's
be
ever
the...
had a Realdolls sit on his face.
He uses one of the...
And then, like,
The
what
boy
would be really
toy
fucked
ones.
up is if one of his buddies fucked it as a joke because he knows it's the only one that he uses to sit on its face.
Just to get back at him.
Yeah, like he's
that
like, I fucked
24
the real doll that you eat the pussy out of, you nasty fuck.
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah, that'd
he
be.
borrowed so much money from his friend. There are male versions. Male Real 2.
Oh,
The male
God.
Real 2 dolls. Okay, don't use doll twice in the copy. Excuse me.
Poor
The
marketing.
male Real 2 dolls are made of the same platinum silicone as our female dolls and feature the same improved skeletons and advanced weight reduction. They also have They also have magnet-based interchangeable heads with a 7-inch oral capacity.
So what if you're fucking it and the head falls off?
You fucked the neck hole, obviously.
You just fucked the neck hole.
The body
Oh,
A
God.
male is about 123 pounds, and the body B male is 115 pounds. Please,
Oh man.
please see the options page for full specs. Please
I
do
don't
not
think that's enough
hesitate to
meat for
contact
me,
us
man.
if you have any questions.
115 pounds?
That's kind of... That's
I don't think
weird.
that's enough.
How tall are these things?
Yeah, these are like 12-year-old children.
Yeah,
that
that's
they're
exactly
modeling
what this
dolls
is.
After.
Real
I bet
doll
many.
features.
I bet there's many priests in the Catholic diocese that own these.
They just have them like in their... They have their closet. Or like, I don't know why Father McManley never changes his gi or whatever they call it.
It's
his
just gi.
frock. Whatever.
They're just-
I don't know
think
why.
It's, just
It's
robe.
like
I think
he-
it's just robes, man.
I've never seen it in his closet. Have you ever seen him for closet inspection? No, he doesn't do closet inspection. He inspects
No.
the closets. It doesn't say... Oh my god, there's a whole... There's a penis sizing chart.
Oh, you
Male
can get
doll
fat dicks, I
penis
told you.
attachments. They
I
are
told you
detachable
can get fat
too.
dicks.
Outstanding. There's extra large, 11-inch, large, 9.5-inch, medium, 7 1/4 inch, and then they
That's
have
about me.
shaft. Okay, so for extra large, you got an overall length of 11 inches of meat. You got a shaft that's approximately 9 inches in length. Circumference, 7 inches. Jesus Christ.
That's a
7-inch
fat dick, dude.
circumference?
That's
Diameter?
a fat dick.
2.5. Oh, 2.5 inches.
Still.
That's some good old fucking real claw. Oh, and then you can. There's a limp flaccid model as well at 5.5 inches in overall length.
You know they got an overstock of those.
There's literally a limp flaccid option.
Is it just like maybe if you're not a bottom?
Oh god.
That's.
There are different kinds of vagina lips too.
Oh
They're-
wow. Well,
They're called
I've seen a lot of weird
RD2
ones.
inserts. RD2.
Have you seen?
Yeah.
Speaking of like sex toys and stuff, this is kind of in the same ballpark. Did you know that Fleshlight has multiple different types of porn stars' vagina lips that are
Yes.
pre-molded into the fleshlights?
I've
So
heard
you
about
can
these.
take your pitifulness a step further and fantasize that you're like fucking a porn star.
I mean, really, who's more pitiful? The guy that buys that thing and uses it, or the porn star that makes it? Or are we being too critical and judgmental? Like,
I don't really give a fuck about porn stars. I think that they figured a way around having to actually work. And it's not like what they're doing isn't actual work, but like I don't know. Like it seems like the ones who get really, really famous have figured something out.
but the but the guy is just looking to bust a nut. Like he's fulfilling his evolutionary destiny.
Oh yeah,
of
and he's
6
making dope money while he's doing it. Not as much as the girls, but he can get more jobs. Especially if you're like a recognizable dude in porn.
No, I'm talking about the guy that buys the fleshlight with the porn star lips on it, who's like
I
jerking
think-
himself off.
I don't know. Like I've fucked a fleshlight before, so like
Yeah.
I don't think it's that weird. Like I
Right.
think it's interesting. Girls fuck themselves with dildos, and everyone's like, "Oh, You know, and they get all red in the face and shit. Dudes, people talk about a dude fucking a fleshlight. They're like, "Oh, that's a fucking nerd. He can't get any pussy."
Yeah,
Like, no,
it's
maybe
like-
I'm just tired of having to deal with a person to have to fuck
Right.
something. So I'd rather
Especially
just
when-
use a fleshlight.
Especially when you work out like we do and you have calluses on your fucking hands. It's the last
Yeah.
thing you want on your meat is some calloused hands, you know, rough.
Because then you get
man
dick
hands.
calluses,
Yeah.
and then it's not fun.
And then the
dick
calluses
are
get
a bad
transferred
time.
to the vaginas, and then it's just a callus.
We got to come up with a
cycle.
name for dick calluses.
Dallas.
Dallases.
Dallases.
That's perfect. They're called Dallases.
Elf ears. You can get elf ears that attach to your Realdolls heads.
Ooh.
Custom
so you can
wigs.
pretend like you're fucking in the World of Warcraft.
Exactly.
That's pretty
Oh,
fucking
and then
nifty.
there's different kinds of pubic hair that you can install as well, which is kind of nice. They got ginger, looks like they got blonde, brunette, and that looks like black hair. I don't know why we call black hair people are brunettes, right? People that have black hair.
I think they have black hair. I think brunette's like brown.
Brunette is brown. Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Okay, so that it is distinct. I'm glad that we talked about this. There is a transgender doll as well.
Is there really? So it has a pussy and a dick?
Well, you can add the penis to any of the Realdolls models. So you
What?
can buy...
Is it like a strap-on belt though? That kind of ruins the immersion.
No, I think it actually plugs in. It plugs into the meat socket that's there, you know. for you.
Nice. So you can just take that old sausage slot, put one end of it in there, and
Bam.
then the dick comes out the other side.
Here's the
And you
question.
got some like good old like balls hanging there. I'm assuming,
Exactly. You can juggle them. You can, you know, just leave
or
them.
take it out and fuck your real doll.
Exactly. You should be
Yeah.
able to interchange any feature with any other feature. Put the dick in the eye on the pussy, the friggin'.
It's like the
tongue on
fucking Mr. Potato Head of fuck dolls.
Exactly. Mr. Potato Head of fuck dolls. And finally, there are vampire fangs available as well.
Oh, for when you want to get really weird because you haven't gone far enough by fucking a silicone sock.
Right. Right. You're trying to take it to that next level. You know?
That next level.
Do dudes like trick out their real dolls? Like people like exhibit tricks out cars? Like
I
is
wonder
there
if
like
you
a
could get like
pimp
like
my real doll?
tattoos and shit.
Yeah.
And put tattoos on your real doll.
Maybe like cybernetic limbs. What kind of real doll would you have?
If I had to have a real doll?
Yeah.
I don't know. It would really depend. I'd probably make like a...
You just get like a standard one.
I don't know. I'd try to make like a hot-ass real doll. Like,
Yeah.
something I felt like I'd be... not feel that sad about fucking all the time.
This is the question though, and like I've talked about this with my wife as well. Like once these become automated, and these are like a thing, right? Like,
Yeah.
is it cheating? Is it considered
No.
cheating to fuck an anatomically correct robot?
So Stephanie says, and you can either edit this part out or not, I don't really care. But depending on how it comes out, we'll figure. So Stephanie says that if in the future we are ever in an environment where prostitution was legal, that she would not give a fuck if I went and fucked a hooker.
Right.
Because there's no emotional attachment between me and that hooker.
Right, none whatsoever. It's just
So, like-
it's all lust.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. So like, I could go fuck and she wouldn't probably care.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think that if I had a fuck doll that just happened to be indistinguishable from the real thing, like
that there would be
someone
much
fucks that, that's
difference.
not really cheating. No,
I
absolutely
think-
not. It's like it's a machine.
I think
now I
my-
think that if somebody wants to feel like they have an emotional attachment to that, like,
Yeah.
good on you. Like, do your thing, bro. It's the same thing as like anyone else wanting to do what they want to do sexually. It's just,
I think,
whatever.
I think my wife's issue would be more in the expense of buying it than it would be in like actually using it. I don't think she would give a fuck if I used it, but these things are fucking expensive. You know what I mean? Like these things are like a G or something like that. She wouldn't be up for that. She wouldn't like that. You know, it's a money thing. And your audio had just totally cut out. So I'm just going to keep
oh, I'm
it
sorry,
rolling.
man. You're good. I
No
said
worries.
soon you're not even gonna have to have a real doll because this whole Oculus Rift shit that's going on, it's already making it seem like it's gonna become pretty indistinguishable. Have you seen the Pornhub vibrating butt. That dumbass thing that had like a funny advertisement out for it.
No.
But like, it's based on a version of the Oculus Rift, except it has this like silicone vibrating ass that you just like stick your dick in. And
it's just an ass.
like
It's like just an asshole. It's
you'd
like
have to look it up. No, it's
strictly
an
anal?
ass and a vagina, but it's like a full
Nice.
butt. So like,
Yeah, I've
you know,
seen
like
those in
fucking however
Japan.
you want, I guess. But like, the whole kicker is that it actually will, you know, like simulates what's going on the screen of this Oculus Rift visor that you're wearing while you're like fucking this thing. So like, at what point is that going to become indistinguishable from the real thing anyway?
Well, that's
where
the
you wouldn't
thing.
even have to have that entity in your house.
We're going to need direct neural stimulation to really trick the brain completely, because if you're trying to grab the breast and the only thing that's there is a vibrating ass, you're not going to grab the breast. You're just going to...
Well, I mean, it'd be pretty easy, I think, to come out with a
like a
fucking
Realdolls?
tit, you know? Like
yeah, just one tit.
Like,
and then
they
you
already
take
came
the
out with
visor off.
vaginas and assholes and
It's
shit.
just-
Like, I'm sure they could make a boob.
It's just a skeleton with like the certain areas, erogenous zones, or
Yeah,
like
so then
actually
you
have
come and
components.
instantly feel bad about everything you've ever done. You feel like you have to call your mom and apologize for being a bad son. And
And then you shower for 4 hours. Get this. What are the differences between the Realdol 2 magnetic and full head style faces? These things have magnetic faces that you attach magnetically, and then with an Allen style hex wrench, remove. You remove the head.
oh, cool.
With a
That's
hex
not dark.
wrench. No.
It's not dark at all.
There's some guy out there that's like, he's like, yeah, I just stopped using the head because it adds weight, and I need
And I
mine
don't feel
as
like
lightweight
carrying
as
it around
possible.
the house and like. I'm just
What's
gonna
the
take it in my
legality
room.
concerning? Could you bring this thing out in public?
Yeah, people do it. You haven't seen the fucking documentary?
I
Bro.
mean, I saw clips of it. I saw the convention part, and I saw.
You
Yeah,
saw the
I guess
dude
just
with
the
he
convention
wears
part.
like goth clothes still. He's like probably in his
Nice.
like late 20s, like mid 30s.
Fuck yeah.
And like he has like long, like kind of nappy hair. He's like a mixed dude, but he's more white than he
Nice.
would be brown.
Nice.
And he's like super nerdy, and he just never evolved out of that from like high school. But he just has like 2 or 3 Realdolls, and he takes them everywhere he goes. And it's like, I just don't understand why I would need to have another human when she pretty much serves all my needs that I need. And
Oh my
it
God.
has shots of him in this like 1-bedroom apartment where he's like washing the dishes and his Realdolls sitting at the table.
Guess how much a pair of feet are? You can buy feet, different kinds of feet.
$1,500.
They are $90 as configured. The thing
Oh,
about these
shit.
Realdolls is, I'm kind of in support of this because I wonder how many sociopathic homicidal maniacs that like to rape prostitutes and chop them up into pieces are like getting their kicks instead through the simulation that is the Realdol.
Yeah, because you can rip its head off and it goes right back on like a Mr. Potato Head.
Right, exactly.
So like you can do all kinds of dark shit. You can like fuck its neck hole or like take the Allen keys and like stick them in your ass or whatever the fuck you're into. Like you don't ever have to put that on anybody else. You just deal with it in the privacy of your own cave.
There is a Realdol club. It's called Club Realdol. It is their message board, and it is quite interesting, my friend.
Oh wow.
It is quite interesting indeed. Let's look. Finally caved. Oh no, you must be logged in. Sorry, I'm not registering for that site. Going back, going back.
We'll make a note of that, and I'll make a little. I'll make a spy account and fucking get some screenshots. And we'll put 'em on the
Okay.
website.
Right. We know you're just doing research to buy a Realdol.
But, well, yeah, probably. But you know what, man? You don't have to call me out on the air like that.
Yeah.
Maybe I want to fuck a silicone thing. Whatever.
I wonder when
Come.
it becomes more preferable to like rent a Realdol than it does to interact with a human being. Because if you buy a prostitute, you're not just
You
buying
can't
the
slap her.
prostitute. You have to deal with all of the prostitute shit, right? The weird
yeah, like you
emotional
can't hit
shit.
'em, and like, but if it's a real doll, like, you can just slap the prostitute all you want.
Yeah,
like-
it's made of silicone. A platinum
Yeah, it doesn't
silicone
matter.
at that. It
I
can
could
take a
punch
beating.
that. I could punch it, like, and it wouldn't matter. It's not gonna leave marks ever. I can get whatever problems I have in my soul out.
Right.
or whoever has problems beating women, which that seems to be a thing.
You can get the expression for the magnetically attached face of pain. The facial expression of pain.
Can you
Put-
really?
What do you... I can only imagine the dude is like a really sociopathic crazy guy is like beating up his real doll as he's fucking it, and then is like ripping off the magnetic faces to replace them with different expressions.
And he
Like-
has adhesion on the back of it, and he's fucking putting the face.
He's
on
slapping
his
them on.
face
Yeah,
while he's
yeah,
fucking
exactly.
them with another face.
Like that episode of The Office when Dwight
Puts
cuts
ham slices on his face.
Yeah, they're teaching CPR, and he cuts off the face of the. He decides to do surgery on the mannequin or
remember.
whatever, and he brought
He
this
cuts the
huge
face
Rambo
off.
knife in, and he like cuts off the face and puts it on his face.
And does like the Hannibal Lecter noise.
Yeah, right. Dwight Schrute. What? Okay, so that kind of concludes the Real Dolls section. What else we got in the news, Alan? Anything?
Fuck, man. You got me.
San Bernadino gunman kill at least 14, wound 17?
Oh, yeah,
What?
this was a new thing. Stephanie had brought this up today.
What the fuck? Are you serious? Another one? Another one.
It never stops, man.
Oh my god. This is why my friend on Facebook put a message out that said this has nothing to do with mental illness, something. It's all guns. But I thought he was just speaking generally. I didn't realize there was another fucking shooting. I feel like shit now. We just talked about Realdolls for fucking almost a half an hour, and this terrible tragedy had taken place.
Well, you know, sometimes you just don't know about stuff happening.
Yeah.
I
San
don't really have a
Bernardino.
good excuse for that. Sorry, go ahead.
San Bernardino, hours after as many as 3 gunmen. A service center for people with disabilities. What the fuck? Who are these individuals, man? 3? 3 gunmen. What the fuck? This is some cartel shit, isn't it? San
They haven't
Bernardino
caught 'em
is
yet.
this is some like Heisenberg, like when the dude in the wheelchair blows himself up and kills Gus Fring. Like this is like some kind of cartel hit, right?
It has to be, because this is... Yeah, this doesn't seem like it's an ISIS thing, because no one's reporting them yelling
Allahu
all
Akbar.
that shit. Yeah, they're not rocking the AK-47s. It said they had long rifles.
San Bernardino is in Southern California as well, which is, you know, close to Mexico, which is close to cartel territory. I don't know. This could be gang related. Witnesses describe a wild gun battle with the men in the SUV firing on the police and the police firing back as nearby residents hid in their homes behind locked doors. When the shooting stopped, one gunman remained on the run, officials said. Law enforcement officers, many armed in tactical gear, swarmed the neighborhood going door to door hunting for the suspect. Jesus Christ.
They can't find them. There's one down, and then the 2 other ones. It doesn't seem like they can find anywhere.
Who were these guys?
I don't know. They said it was at a rehab center.
Right.
Like, there would only be one reason you'd be there. It's like some old fucking dude.
There's a
that
school
had
for
some
the blind there, too.
connections. Yeah.
Inland Regional Center. People took shelter at a school for the blind. Jesus.
Here's the other thing. 14 dead and 17 wounded. That seemed like they were trying to do as much damage as possible, not just hit a specific person.
Yeah, that was indiscriminate. That was just like...
They were just shooting whoever the fuck.
Jesus Christ.
It would probably be worth it to know who owns that facility.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I'd be curious to know, like, where's the money going? I mean, for them to just go in and shoot indiscriminately, it could also be to cover up a hit. Like, if you're looking to target one individual, but you don't want to
make it blatant.
Right. You just fucking kill everybody that's around there, and it just so happens that your target was among the dead. What an awful situation. Wondering what's going to come of this. Like, that this goes back to my friend's comment on Facebook. He was like, "This has nothing to do with mental disabilities. This has to do with guns." And like my initial reaction was to disagree with him because I am a strong proponent of gun rights. I believe people should be allowed to own and have as many fucking guns as they want. And I don't think it's anyone's business to tell them that they shouldn't. But now that I see that this really, I mean, obviously you're dealing with a mental health issue, but this is not SSRI related. That's what my initial knee-jerk reaction was. I was like, well, how many of the shooters were prescribed SSRIs? This was a military action.
Yeah, like if they were not good at it, they wouldn't have tried to get out.
Right.
They wouldn't have tried to fucking disappear. They would have just like shot until someone killed them.
Or killed themselves. Right?
Yeah. So I don't know. This is a tricky one. We're gonna have to kind of see and wait and see what happens. No one really knows anything about it yet. It seems like.
What do you think the policy guidance should be coming from like Washington or the executive branch? Like, what Obama has stated that he wants harder. What are they called? Like background psych eval, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm all for that.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Here's the thing that fucking bugged me. We walked into a pawn shop, or I walked into a pawn shop up the road from my house, and I walked in there to sell a guitar that I had last year or so. There was a guy that walked in, purchased a gun, had it inside a CD case, and walked out before I even could sell my guitar.
What the fuck?
No shit, this happened. I get it. Like, we're in the South. Like, it's really easy to fucking do. They just call in a background check. If you're good, you're good. Mm-hmm. But, like, it took me more time. And I've sold shit there before. It doesn't take a long time. It took me more time to sell a guitar than it took for him to purchase a gun and be out the door with it.
That's
Which
fucked
is like,
up.
I found that kind of disturbing. I was like, I get that that's cool and, like, you should be able to do that. But, I mean, should you be able to fucking do that?
No, right. You shouldn't be able to do that. That's fucked up, right? I mean, come on, like.
I think that's where it goes too far. I think like we have less rights in areas that would probably do us better than we do in purchasing like potentially deadly weapons. I'm not saying guns are dangerous by themselves. Obviously, the people that wield them are dangerous.
Of course, you're talking about marijuana. I mean, that's the biggest contradiction in terms that I see.
You say someone's a dangerous criminal because they use something that's pretty much notably harmless.
Yes.
Has actual health benefits.
Right.
You put them in prison for that. But if somebody else can have a loaded gun on the back seat of their car in plain view,
and it's whatever,
and that's cool.
Yeah, that's perfectly
so like
all right.
I don't know, like, and how do you know? What if people start walking down the road in Texas open carry because it's legal and you're allowed and no cop stops them, but then they just decide in the middle of their little walk that they want to change over a Condition 1 weapon and fucking become ISIS supporters?
Right.
Like, no one really talks about that. Like those fucking fat idiot hobbyists that like walk around Target acting like fucking douchebags. And then you have like the one guy, the black dude that has a fucking BB gun that is walking around Walmart with a gun in a box and gets shot like 6 times.
Oh, that was fucked up, right? Because he was black.
Fuck?
Because it was because it was a black guy with something, an object that looked like a weapon. It could have been like flowers, and they would have been like, it's kind of like gun shaped. I didn't know. I saw the bright red.
And it was a BB gun inside a box.
What?
It wasn't even out of the box. He was carrying it in the packaging.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
And then you have these like fat fucking like nerd fedora kids that are walking around Target in Texas with fucking like weapon slings and like they're semi-automatic, so it's not like they're fucking rocking like, oh, they're automatic weapons, which it wouldn't even really matter anyway.
Right.
Like, but they're walking around with like semi-automatic fucking weapons in the store. It's like, who gives a fuck? But you're just doing it to be a douchebag and prove a point. Mm-hmm. But this dude's walking around with a BB gun and gets shot like 6 or 7 times and dies.
Right, that's fucked. Here's a question. What are we going to do to mitigate this violence? I don't know. I think we could have this conversation for the rest of the hour, but it's like, all I can say is that this is a tragedy. It was obviously a military action, and we'll see what comes of it as time goes on. In other news, Starbucks, what's up with E. coli right now in the United States. It's like first Chipotle or one of those taco joints were
Had
shutting.
like an outbreak, yeah.
Yeah, it was multiple states too. It was like all over the place. And now Starbucks recalls holiday turkey sandwiches linked to Costco E. coli outbreak in Oregon, Nevada, and
Ooh.
California.
That's rough, man. Maybe someone's poisoning the water hole.
Someone's pooping in the water hole is what's going
Dude.
on. That's what's
It's
going
ISIS
on.
trying to be funny, and they're indirectly causing biological warfare.
Yeah,
It's like,
exactly.
we will take shit in your non-kosher foods. And then
Yeah,
they
yeah.
fucking take a shit in it and don't realize that they're actually, like, they're indirectly giving people diseases.
Montenegro from NATO enemy to potential ally. Montenegro may be joining NATO. I don't know. British Parliament votes to bomb Islamic State in Syria. Wow, this is just
That
dumb.
long? That took a long time.
Everybody wants to stick their dick in the apple pie that is Syria. It seems like everybody.
So they can all look good.
Yeah,
Because
they're
no one
all
wants
these
to be
dicks.
the ones that didn't help.
Right, yeah, exactly. They don't want to be. Their dick is cold. They need to stick it into the apple pie before it gets cold.
Yeah, or else then you just look like the asshole. Because if you get in and get out early, then whoever stays there the longest is going to be the fucking dickheads for being there too long.
You're gonna be left with the crumbs. You got to
Yeah.
get your meat into that pie as soon as it pops off.
Did
so
we
you can-
bomb a second hospital, by the way?
Tell me we didn't bomb a second.
I think we bombed a second. I didn't ever get to
we
verify.
bombed
and
the
look
second
this up.
hospital. We didn't
I'm not
bomb
sure.
a second hospital.
I'm not sure. You need to look it up because my phone's dead. But I swear to God, I was sitting on the couch the other day in the house, and there was like another report of a hospital where they had like called and like reported that their hospital was being bombed. It's another Doctors Without Borders place.
Yeah, here it is. Doctors Without Borders hospital in Syria hit by double tap barrel bombing. This was December 1st, 2015. Oh,
Yep.
shit. Yeah, that was
So we hit
yesterday.
another
Fuck.
hospital.
Hold on a second. It was a barrel bomb. Saturday strikes were the latest in an apparent pattern of escalating attacks on medical facilities and doctors in the Syrian civil war, according to human rights organizations. Doctors Without Borders said a barrel bomb was dropped from a helicopter on a populated area of Zafarana at 9:40 a.m. Now, what you need to understand is where was this hospital? Was it in Assad-controlled territory? Was it in rebel-controlled territory? And then after you find out what that is, then you need to understand who does it benefit that a Doctors Without Borders hospital was attacked. Does it benefit the United States and Saudi Arabia and the European powers, or does it benefit Syria, Russia, the Iranian powers? You need to understand that just because a bomb was dropped on a hospital from a helicopter does not mean necessarily that it was the work of Assad. It could be an attack by, I hate to say it, but by rebel forces that the U.S. is backing to make it look like Assad is bombing hospitals to justify a public outcry against him. But I think it's...
The one I was talking about was actually like a pilot from the U.S. who had like dropped this fucking thing.
That was the first attack that happened in Afghanistan, I believe.
See, I thought I heard of a different one within the last week or so where it was like a very similar case where they had like basically bombed this thing for about 20 minutes straight. They had like calls coming in saying that they were like friendly and it just didn't stop, I guess. It was kind of fucking dark, man. But I don't know if those were like further reports from the first bombing or if it was a second separate event altogether.
Yeah, in October, Doctors Without Borders hospital in Kunduz, Afghanistan was all but destroyed by U.S. airstrikes, killing 30 people, including 13 medical staff, in what the organization called a blatant breach of international law. Then, when it came time to investigate it, we did everything in our power to make sure that this would not be an impartial, objective investigation by a third party. We did everything in our power to make sure that it was our investigators investigating our own crime. Like, it's like somebody murders someone, right? And then they're like,
Yeah.
they get their own police department or they get their own family to do the investigation. It's fucking hilarious.
It's like, oh, this looks okay, right? Yeah, you're about on board with this? Okay, cool. Everyone's good. All right, yeah, let's go home. This was a complete accident.
There isn't more detail on the helicopter that dropped the bomb. I want to know. Helicopter that dropped barrel bomb on hospital. Let's see if there's more detail there. Barrel bombs hit Assad suspected. Of course, that's what they're gonna want to be.
They're gonna
showing.
say that every time. Like,
They want Assad out so bad. They're foaming at the mouth.
and it's so blatant. And what is that? And like, I don't know what has Assad. Okay, so explain this to me, Ben. What has Assad done to us or to like other people? He's a generally shitty dude, or is he really not done anything?
He's generally a shitty dude, but he's no more shitty than fucking the Saudis. You know what I mean? Like, he's no more shitty than, any of those leaders from that area of the world. Like, he's just... If one thing could be said in his defense is that he's a secular leader, which means that he's not in advance of radical Islamic terrorist extremist ideals. Like, he's
not even like supporting that. That's like how Saddam Hussein was, where he said like, talk about Islam in my country, I'll cut your fucking tongue out.
Right.
Like, I don't want that shit here.
Right. Yeah, he was a secular leader as well. And then by deposing Saddam, and then now we're trying to get Assad out, we're basically paving the way for a new caliphate, a new Islamic caliphate that is led by and has its spiritual center in Saudi Arabia. This is basically just one giant... We are throwing in our chips on the side of the bad guys, okay? The non-progressive guys that don't want women to drive, that want to execute homosexuals and think that... what are some of their other crazy beliefs? The Sharia law guys. Who you have to wear a hijab, like women can't go outside alone by themselves, like this kind of craziness. We are throwing in our chips on their side, and it's so painful to watch because it's like,
it doesn't make any sense.
Our
man.
natural ally is Iran or like the Shia, but for some reason, through the strange course of time, we become enemies with them. It's just so fucked up.
Yeah, it stopped making sense to me a long time ago. I don't even know why we have our hands so... Well, you have ideas of why we have our hands so fucking deep over there, but it all just comes off like it's almost pointless to even speculate anymore.
Yeah,
because like I just don't fucking get what they're doing.
So
like,
what I know right now...
I almost don't want to know.
Yeah, it's true. If you want to know like a possible theory, I could tell you, but if you don't want to know, we can just change it.
Have at it.
Okay, well, this is the deal, right? So currently there's a pipeline deal between Iran, Iraq, and Syria to open up a new channel for petroleum to be exported to Europe by way of Syria's coastal cities on the Mediterranean. That means that they no longer have to go through Turkey, which is why Turkey is in such great support of ISIS and the Islamic Jihad, because those are their guys. If they can cause chaos and they can depose Assad, they can jeopardize that pipeline deal, make it completely impractical because they'll just keep blowing it up and fucking cutting people's heads off. And we'll still need to rely on the channel through Turkey to get petroleum to Europe. Well, that's the reason why. This has nothing to do with ISIS. That's the lowest priority. People need to get that through their heads. The war in Syria, attacking units in Syria, military operations in Syria has literally zero to do, like -% to do with ISIS. I mean, in realistically speaking, it has about maybe like 15% to do with it. It's a low priority.
What's sad is like people don't realize that they have all this really great online propaganda that they can fucking scare people with. Like, if I cut someone's head off on camera and put it on the internet, fucking would probably scare somebody.
Right.
And put some like good editing behind it with a flag and some shitty fucking music.
It's eerie.
And of course, it's gonna scare fucking people.
Yeah.
But in reality, think about how many people across the world are like fighting against them just because it's like the trendy thing to do now. So you have the Kurds. You have people in America who get out of the military who are still gung ho to fucking shoot at people.
Fuck yeah.
So they go over there to help the Kurds. Do work, whatever. Do your fucking thing. Then you got like videos of dudes in khaki fucking cargo shorts and like backwards hats shooting 50 cals that they stole from ISIS.
Right.
And they're like laying down their firing positions. And then on top of that, you have every other fucking country in the United Nations that's involved that is just like shitting on these people as fucking often as they can. So if you really think that one fucking mobilized group of individuals who don't even make up the entirety of the Marine Corps in itself,
Right.
at like 200,000, I think it's like 184 the last time I checked, but are really going to stand a chance against the rest of the world. They might fucking get people here and there, but eventually the people who are willing to blow themselves up are going to run out.
It's such a distraction. The whole thing was hatched in order to justify further military incursions into Syria to depose Assad to cank that pipeline deal. Like, when you put all the pieces together, you see the lowest priority is ISIS. We don't really give a fuck about destroying ISIS. We need ISIS via the chaos doctrine to destabilize that country to make life hard for Assad. The second objective has always been Assad. Like, we don't give a fuck about ISIS. We just want Assad to go. That's been evidenced by the fact that we have rendered so much material support, logistical support to the rebels, who then turned around and joined ISIS. The third part is that this doesn't even have to do with Assad. If Assad agreed to canking the pipeline deal with Iran and Iraq, then this deal would have been canceled a long time ago. But they're not, right?
No.
So that's why there's
absolutely
a war.
not. That whole thing is such a fucking shithole.
I can't wait till we stop talking about it. Like, if you look back at our podcast, this topic of Syria has dominated the discussion.
All that's happening.
That's all that's happening. That area just wants peace, and it's like, will it ever find peace? Imagine, if you will, like an area the size of, like, say, from Maine to, I don't know, Tennessee, that was just embroiled in a war for, like, the last, like, since the dawn of recorded history. Like, there was always war. It would be absurd to think that. And yet, that's what we have.
All the time.
Not that, like, you know, I don't know, you could construe, like, gang violence. That, like, there has been there were more shootings in Chicago, more homicides in Chicago than there were in all of Iraq in 2013.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Whatever happened off the topic, whatever happened to Cecil the Lion, by the way? Speaking of violence around the world.
I don't know, man. What did happen?
Is he still dead or what?
Yeah, it's still dead. There was a rumor that the brother was shot as well, and all of the social justice warriors came out of the woodwork, and that guy's career and his life was ruined. You know.
Was it really?
Yeah.
I don't think anybody remembers that shit at all now.
I mean, they came out in force. I don't know. I guess apparently he's trying to rebuild, but his job took a hit, like a major hit.
Damn.
But
that's sad to hear, man, just because a dude fucking used some of his money to go shoot an old lion.
Right, yeah. It's dicey because we don't know, like, did he lure the animal away from its area of protection? There was a report that he was charged with luring before. If he lured the animal away just to shoot it, that's fucked up. If his guides lured the animal away and he had knowledge that they were doing it and shot it anyway, that's fucked up. If he was totally ignorant, as he claims that he was, that they were outside of their area of enclosure or protection and that the guides lured it away, that's fucked up on the guide's part, but not on his fault.
Yeah, and in all fairness, like, when you look at it, we're talking about all these ethics and all this shit that goes along with hunting these animals. The people in Africa, that, like, even the guy, the president of Africa, he didn't even give a fuck. That dude had little to zero care about what happened
Yeah.
to that lion and the circumstances that led to it being shot. Because he knows of villages in his fucking country where people get ransacked by lions
They get
all the time.
fucked by
They
lions.
get fucking destroyed. So, like, I couldn't give a fuck if that dude lured it 30 miles away, chopped its dick off, and then fucking stamped on the electrical box that was tracking the fucking thing.
Right,
Because at the
yeah.
end of the day, it really doesn't fucking matter. And it was an old lion. Like,
Yeah, past the breeding age, and usually
it
they
was
get
fucking
more.
probably just killing babies anyway.
They get
So-
more violent as the older they get because they're salty and they know that they can't, like, they can't get their dick hard. So they get just angry, and in order to, like, hold on to the alpha status in the pride, they will murder the young. They will fucking kill babies. They will fucking attack. They get more aggressive too. They'll attack people, like just like National Geographic photographers or whatever, man killers.
Yeah.
It's
They're people forget that they're predators, man. It's just what they are.
That's why you get all of these social justice warriors from the United States who have their experience with lions. Many of them is literally the Lion King. Like, that's their source
They've
material.
never even been to a zoo.
They haven't
Like,
even
if
been
you
to a zoo, and they're
even just go to a zoo and stand next to a fucking lion.
right. That thing will murder your body dead if it is given the opportunity. If it is ever given the opportunity, it will kill you in a fucking heartbeat. It does not
It'll
give
eat
a
you like
fuck.
mashed potatoes. It won't give a fuck.
People exactly like mashed potatoes. People like think that, oh, it's just the lion, man, and in the nature and the whatever. Like, no, like, snap the fuck out of it, hippie. Like, that's not
And
how
then you
it
have
works.
people that are like, where they're like, well, if you weren't there in the first place, and that lion wouldn't have had to have been shot. But someone on a reservation would have gotten a bush gun and shot the fucking thing anyway.
Yeah, it would have been killed. I mean, I don't know. I think there's this weird, like, xenophobic, like, this auto-xenophobia whereby human beings think that human beings are somehow unnatural, that we're not part of the natural order of things. It's really strange. It's the same type of reasoning that gives rise to the idea that nuclear reactors are no more natural than volcanoes. Of course they're natural. They are naturally occurring. They occur, maybe there are more orders of magnitude removed from the Big Bang or whatever, but so is a volcano. If you were to count all of the different things that lead up to a volcano, they're just as complex and just as numerous.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think even a nuclear reactor would probably be more complicated even.
Yeah, it would, but what I'm saying is it's still natural. That's the thing. Like, people think they draw this distinction between the natural and the unnatural, the artificial and the natural, when in fact, it's all under the umbrella of the natural.
Of being natural. Yeah,
Right.
because we created it and we're natural.
Right. And this type of psychology gives rise to this notion that when a dentist shoots a lion, that somehow that shouldn't happen. Like, there's this taboo. There's like, oh,
Because
that's
we're
an
so much
awful-
smarter, we're more advanced. Like,
Right.
fuck you. We like work to get to this point. If I want to shoot a fucking lion, shoot a fucking lion.
And it's not like these. I mean, yeah. I mean, these things are protected. We have protections in place. That's why this situation is a little dicey, just because. Well, what was the real story? Did he lure the lion away from its protected habitat in order to kill it? If so, that's like basically what is that? First degree murder. Like, he plotted it. I mean, it's not first degree murder because
I mean, can you have premeditated murder against a
of
predator?
an animal. I don't know. I don't think
Because
so.
then that predator would have probably just gone and killed something else. So then wouldn't that be murder? Then you're
Right.
having to bring an antelope and a fucking lion into the courtroom together. It doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, you see where this illogic kind of leads us. It just doesn't make sense.
No.
So, I mean, that's too bad about Cecil, but I mean, hey, shit fucking happens, and it happened, and people need to get the fuck over it. People really who complain about stuff like that, social justice warriors, like, it's because their life is so devoid of meaning that they are clamoring and scratching and clawing for
To have something to connect to.
Yes, anything that gives them some kind of identity, some type of
Like validity.
yeah, exactly, some type of gravitas. Like they want to imbue their lives with substance and meaning because in their natural state, their life is completely devoid of those things. Like they've never been pushed past the point of their body breaking. They've never endured.
They've never had to deal with anything hard in their life. So like
Never.
something minimal on the internet seems like it's the end of the fucking world when in reality it happens every single day. Anyway.
Conversely, however, there's also another type of psychology that exemplified by someone like Donald Trump. Donald Trump also has never worked a hard day in his life, and yet if someone told him the story of Cecil the Lion, he'd be like, oh yeah, fuck that animal, I would have fucking shot it anyway, blah, 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 blah. Like,
yeah.
That's the other extreme of sociopathy and craziness. Like, you have the, the entitled psychopath, like exorbitantly wealthy, and then you have just the opposite end of that, which is like, whatever, middle class, lower middle class, who are just fiending.
You're only concerned with that.
They're only concerned with social issues, and it's like, go and have a life, go and experience society.
To be fair, it's easy to get sucked into that stuff too.
Like, it is with Instagram.
I've even gotten
and
myself
memes.
Partially like sucked into it before.
On what
you
issue?
Actually like?
You talking about? Are you on which
just
issue?
Just in social justice, like how you'll read into stuff.
Scientology?
Talking on a broad spectrum. No, not Scientology, Ben. Fuck.
Well, I mean,
like social justice on a broad spectrum. You'll start reading about topics, and then it always seems like whatever they're writing about on that end is the morally right option. So you get sucked in, and you get stuck. How we used to talk about getting stuck in a bubble.
Right.
Like you start to really think that, oh, this is the only thing that's right, but then you start reading other shit, and you're like, I could see how this could be a thing too. I don't know if everything these people are saying. And then you start seeing spirit science websites, and then that even pushes me even further away from wanting to like go with the super left side.
Spirit science. Have you seen that meme where he's like, I'm spirit sciencing, bro. I'm spirit sciencing the shit out of life right now.
I've not seen that meme, but that's about accurate.
Yeah, I'll post it to you. You'll get a laugh. You'll get a laugh out of it. Let's see, what else do we have? So we had a great interview with Louis Arana from Robots Without Borders yesterday.
I'm mad I missed that, man. I was feeling terrible because my back and shit.
Yeah, I wish you could have been there. I love talking with him. It was cool. He's, again, looking for the real doll mannequin that he can animate. It doesn't have to be a real doll or mannequin. It can be any kind of robot. But that would be cool if any of our listeners have access to any of those things and they can ship it. Let's arrange shipment and let's get Louis a body that he can animate with some robotics. Sound good?
Right now I'm on the way to try to find and put my fingers out there and see if I can't find a mannequin or a real doll or something like that. Yeah. If we get it worked out, we can get it shipped out too.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
Yeah. So that just about concludes the show. We're at the top of the hour. Trailer Park Master Chef, please check him out on Instagram. Do you have anything else to discuss in these last few moments of the show, Alan?
No, man. I think that was a pretty good run there. But do follow me on Instagram at Trailer Park Master Chef. Been a little slow lately, but we'll be picking up steam here pretty soon as the seasons are changing. There'll be a lot of different recipes I can do.
And a lot of new Instagram images and posts on the website as well. So please look for that. Alan has promised that he will be contributing to the website starting. And
I got my laptop, so I don't have an excuse now.
So he's all equipped and ready to go. He's got a sweet laptop, putting a down payment on that real doll. Here comes the future. All right.
Life.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. If you were entertained or educated by this show, please click the PayPal link and donate. We are funded 100% by user listener donations. You, the user, you, the listener, you, the person with the headphones in, listening to this through your car speaker, stereo, iPod, iPhone, whatever the fuck. It's you that makes this program work.
And let's be honest, we're better than FM. That shit's fucking garbage.
We're way better
You don't
than
want to
FM.
hear ads. You don't hear ads and shit.
Yeah, ads. And where else are you going to hear us pontificate about Realdolls for close to a half an hour? You're not going to hear that anywhere else. This is
absolutely not.
This is exclusive material that you were lucky to enjoy and to relish and rub all over your body, all over your nasty, naked, Realdolls sweaty body. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much again. Thank you, Alan, and we'll check you guys next time.
Later.